Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 253, and today we're doing battle with Earnest Elf Tristana. And so, we're coming up here, we're approaching the holiday season, whatever your winter time holiday of choice is. I hope you have a good one, an enjoyable one. If you're not into that kind of thing, then, have a happy Friday or whatever. I just hope y'all are having a good one out there. And so, today we had a really big decision. We could either go with the Earnest Elf Tristana, which we're doing here, or we could have played with the Santa Braum, and I decided to go with the Tristana. This is a deck I have enjoyed for quite a while. I feel like Tristana is one of those champions that was on the edge of breaking through, but never quite got that boost to send her up into the top tiers of constructed land, whether or not she just needed a little bit more of a multi-faction component printed out there or needed a little bit of help otherwise. She's just been a little bit short, but we hope to take advantage of her strength today. And so we're going to be teaming up Tristana with Jax. This is a combo that saw a little bit of the light of day right when Jax came out. One of the kind of synergistic combos with all of these weapon masters is that they all are multi-faction, right? So today we're going to be playing the Piltover Castaway, the Wandering Shepherd, and the Combat Cook. We have this nice little multi-faction equipment package to tie in with the Tristana, looking for multi-region cards. Outside of that, there are the kind of standard standby multi-faction units that you're going to see with Tristana. You do have a bit of a fairies package between the Blastcone Seedling and the Grandfather Fae. The Grandfather Fae generates Hungry Owlcats, which are also multi-faction units. Those Hungry Owlcats, quite happy to equip all of the various equipments that we generate. It's a very good target to load up with the Overwhelm equipment, as you have the Spell Shield already. Makes it kind of tough to deal with. The last part of the fairies package is we are still playing Face Sprout. Just a nice bit of good early, good late kind of value. The thing that you do have to kind of call out with this deck, and one of the ways that we used to see a lot of power derived from Tristana is the usage of Attach. And so the kind of big core build around of old with Tristana was you would pair her into Ionia, look to use some of the Ionian Elusives package, and then look to equip Tristana with a Rainbow Fish. And so you could do Rainbow Fish plus Denies, hopefully have Tristana having 10 attack or so, and punching in for those big game-ending swings. But since you can't both attach and equip a unit with the kind of rise in power of all of the new equipment, the attachments have kind of fallen out of the wayside. And so we'll probably mess this up at some point today, try and attach something that has an equipment on it, but just something to keep in mind if you pick this deck up on your own. The last couple of things to call out, we are still running in this very Aatrox heavy meta. We're going to try and combat that the best that we can. We have the 2 copies of Aloof Travelers to potentially make our opponent just discard him out of the hand, along with the Minimorph to shrink him, if that's what it comes to. The downside with Minimorph, much in the same vein as the attaches don't quite work with the equipment. If you Minimorph the opposing unit, it does still get to keep the equipment attached to it. And so a little bit of things to watch out for here. Still quite powerful, turning the opposing big champion into a 3/3 and removing all of its abilities is still quite good. But I'm curious if at some point throughout the day we don't have a Minimorph unit just get transformed into the big Darkin. And so it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. We'll still be playing it here today. We haven't been seeing too much champion strength these days, but in the same vein, we also have a single copy of Puzzling Signposts along with the Aloof Travelers to potentially make our opponents discard that card. And so that's it. That's the deck. That's what we'll be doing battle with today. You have seen the Earnest Elf Tristana, but that doesn't get us out of the way. We still have to pay the pay-to-win price, and we've got the Puzzling Signpost down here. That's what I was looking to give the boost today. It's seen, a little bit of play, mainly as a counter to a champion strength, but still capable of stopping things like the Harrowing and the high-powered stuff you see, those big 10-cost spells, always nice to send back to hand. So where are we at? Versus the players. Gauntlet, we'll try you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have time for the Gauntlet. We are approaching the Christmas time season out here. I'm going to have to stop making videos for a couple of days, I do believe, but I'll still try and get some of those Time Winder Gauntlets in as soon as I can. And alright, reasonable enough start with Jax. This deck is pretty heavily loaded in with 2-drops, and so I don't feel like we need to hang on to the Blast Cone Seedling. Let's just leave this Jax in hand and see if we can't find some more cards to support him, be it a Tristana or an equipment kind of thing. Reasonable enough, dudes. We are here up against the old Aatrox Vayne. We'll see if we can't get a nice aloof Travelers to get some shutdown on those Aatrox. Alright, bring in a little cupcake. Alright, the Steadfast Elkin is what has been my bane here in recent times, as you have him come down and pick up the tough. It just really shuts down a lot of the decks that I like to play. If we want to attack Jax into this thing, it's okay if it's a 2/2, but if he drops the +1/+1 equipment on it, then we're suddenly too small to take the Elkin down in combat. You know, if you're trying to play Noxus aggro, this guy is a bit of a pain. Right, let's see if he's just going to take it, see if he's going to play a catch. Nothing so far. But yeah, this was all coming to mind as we're trying to get the Grandfather Fae and the Hungry Owlcat going. It's a little bit too small to deal with the 2/2. I mean, you can make the 3-attack Owlcat off of the Fae, but you know, we need some meat on those bones. We need a little bit of thunder in here to overwhelm these smaller units. All right, Vayne coming in. Shouldn't be tumbling. I mean, I don't suspect he's going to have an equipment this turn, but he may. Let's go ahead and drop in the Piltover Castaway. If it finds if it finds the Fix 'em Up when we get a Entrancing Lure plus 4 health or 4 attack quick attack challenge next turn, very strong in terms of taking down Vayne. But I don't suspect he has equipment here. Maybe he does. You can see it now. But as we were on that previous turn, really surprised he didn't drop equipment onto the Steadfast Elkin. But we can throw down a block. And then I'm like certainly looking to play Combat Cook next turn, so we could look to Entrancing Lure with him. But I think we'll just stop here and look to take all of the damage. It's kind of tough for the opposing deck to actually kill us at this point. He's going to need 2 or 3 more turns before he can pull off these really big tumble plays. Alright, and I think we want the spell mana here. That's going to let us play both the catch and the Entrancing Lure in this combat. Jax be getting leveled up here as well. He won't level up in the middle of combat. He'll level up at the end, but looks like he's just going to get killed. Sad day for you, my friend. Sad day. Pots a boiling, bruh. Not a bad combat. Sucked to lose our Jax, but we certainly picked up a bit of strength on this board. Now, the thing to kind of watch out here playing up against Aatrox, he hasn't picked up the Aatrox in his hand just yet, but we are on the even attacks, and so if we really want, we can wait until next turn to drop the Aloof Travelers down, give us a bit of a way to make him discard the Aatrox before the damage comes in. Now opponent's clearly going to put a Darkened Harp onto the Valor. We don't have great ways to deal with it. We could go ahead and just mini-morph the Valor, which is probably where we're stuck. I mean, we can just give up 2 units to this play. Is that really worth it? I mean, we can throw down some width after the fact, but just like spending 6 mana on the free unit just feels fucking terrible. I guess at least our Combat Cook is kind of protected here, if we want to hit it with the catch. Alright, let's get dudes in. I just can't imagine playing Minimorph on the Valor as the path to victory here. If he just then gets to switch to putting the Darken Harp onto Quinn and just saying, LOL, I'm still making these big attacks, it's just not going to work out. Needed some kind of interactive play here to take the Valor down, and we just don't have it. We didn't have any pokey sticks or any of our group shots. But if he does try and get overly clever here, lead in with the attack onto the combat cook, we do have that catch to win the combat and shut down his big plays for the turn. Didn't come together there, but you know, we'll see if we don't get to take the bird down at some point. That point is now. Alright, so I don't believe he's picked up that Aatrox in his hand just yet. We could drop the Aloof, but I don't think he has it. He's only played the Darken Harp, right? So he shouldn't have enough Darken to have him in hand. He could just naturally have Aatrox, but he hasn't physically drawn Aatrox at this point, at least through his Runeterran power. So let's bang, let's get this big Tristana on the board, see if we can't at least whittle down some of these cards. Don't think we want to be playing Face Sprout, although we could play the Fix 'em Up pre-combat here. Make a good hungry Owlcat. He says, it's Christmas time, yo. You got that Tristana coming at me. There's some kind of green creature out here. I don't know what this thing is. It doesn't strike me as it's not a Poro. It's not a Yeti. Why is it so green? I don't know what that thing is, but it's there. We'll call him some kind of holiday creature. Some kind of holiday creature. Alright, so yeah, opponent does not have the actual Aatrox up at this point. I think we're good to just get some of these stronger units in play. So let's drop the Fix 'em Up onto our Owlcat. I'm fine to trade off the Combat Cook with the Fleet Feather Tracker. Just getting rid of that potential target for the Darken Harp feels kind of nice. I'm also not opposed to attacking with this Blast Cone Seedling. His only good block right now is Quinn. And if we're going to find ourselves with some opportunities to take down Quinn in the near future, I'm on board with that as well. It seems like, though, she's probably another target we'll have to look towards with the Minimorph, but, got some potential. There goes the Aatrox in hand. I was waiting on that animation. Let's send it in. Pot full of pain, bro. Nice 5 damage hit. Calls it back, says no. Puts it back, says okay. Alright, so I don't suspect we're going to get to snipe that Aatrox out of his hand, but it should be tough for him to do a whole lot with it next turn. I mean, I guess he has Tumble and the mana to cast it, but this is where the problem's going to be, isn't it? He's going to get this Scout attack out of Quinn. She's going to be getting a flip as well. Yeah, that's probably too much. Well, we'll let it come in. Here comes the Quinn bird. Such an absurd interaction. Oh, we're just dead, aren't we? Fuck, we needed to block. Oops. I thought we were going to fall to 1 there. A little bit of whoopsies, but that was going to be a tough one to recover from. We could have mini-morphed the Quinn on the next turn, but if he's getting an open attack in there, it's going to hurt. All right, next battle though. What do we got here? Elise Trundle. Uncle Muscles bringing the biceps. What do we got? Not a reasonable start here. Let's get rid of everything. We got so many 2-drops in here, we really want to find at least one of them. Not a bad start now. Where were you last game, Pokey Sticks? Where were you? Those birds coming at us, you're nowhere to be seen. Alright, not yet, Assistant Librarian. You need a little bit more help. There's the help. What do you got? You got a good one in here? Combat Reel's always a good one. Got all these Pokey Sticks in hand. Kinda good to have the additional mana. Wonder if this guy's going to be dropping Iceborne Legacies on us. I always love it. I love the Iceborne Legacy onto the spiders. Played a little bit of that in the Foundations Gauntlet. Not a ton, but we certainly brought it out to play. Okay. Still got a 3/3. So do we want to go for the Castaway here? I think so. I'm kind of intent on pokey-sticking this Sentry. Gonna be more Quietus. One of the smaller problems with improvises these days. A lot of Quietus running around. We featured a deck in our previous video with both Quietus and Fracture. So it can be dangerous, you know. I guess the Spirits Unleashed is probably just better than just better than the Iceborne Legacy in almost every situation. Alright, let's bring it in. We got this other Pokey Stick in hand. It should be, you know, pretty well advertised that that's what's about to happen to this Elise, but if he's not open attacking on us, he doesn't get great usage out of her next turn. Okay, if he has like a troll chant to get out of this, I think it's okay. I think the Assistant Librarian is just a little bit too good to be getting rid of right now. We have another target with the Wandering Shepherd. The Tristana is going to come down and give us some strength next turn. Doesn't feel like our health total is really at risk right now, to where some of these cards that he has are actually just quite good. Where'd you go, Tristana? We do have this really nice multi-faction chain next turn as well, with the Grandfather Fae into the Owlcat into the Wandering Shepherd. So who do we lead with, though? We can probably start with the Grandfather Fae. I don't suspect we'll want to pivot out of this, but this at least gives us a little bit more mana if we don't want to play the Wandering Shepherd, if we want to, say, put a fix-em-up onto something. Holiday season, bro. Check it. That's not a Santa Braum. I wonder if he did the mathematics on that one. Is this a Santa Braum? So I guess the kind of interesting thing with our hand here is we do have this catch, right? We can get this really nice surprise quick attack onto the board next turn, or onto this attack. Might be able to pull off something cool with that. We'll just pick up the Pot of Pain. I don't think we need Tough here. It can be bigger than all of his units anyways. Alright, let's send a little something in. he should be aware that, you know, he has pretty good blocks across the board here, but his block onto the Librarian just isn't good. And then I think we'll get a good quick attack challenge in front of one of these other units. Not quite a quick attack challenge, I guess. We aren't we aren't doing the challenge part, but he's blocking in a favorable way for us. All right, not a bad board, not a bad board. Got lots of interactivity here. We got the mini morph. We can make him discard, you know, something. I'm not sure what we would be looking to make him discard at this point, but the option is here. Can also look to face sprout and see if we can't find a rainbow fish to just get the big Tristana kills here. Surprised to see him attacking. It's his angle. We can throw some of these bad units out here if we want, but my suspicion is that this is just going to be another Three Sisters. I think that's okay. We can mini morph out of it if we have to. It's just such a big investment. Like, it's a 5 mana investment from him to play the Three Sisters to try and take Tristana down. Oh, just a Vile Feast. Okay. Alright, let's see what turns up. We don't necessarily have to play whatever turns up, but I think we should take a peek first. Assistant Librarian's still quite good. We have all these equipment in our hand. Okay.
If I were a magician, where would I go?
And then I think, like how we did it with the previous turn, to where we held on to the catch plus fix 'em up, I think we're probably going to want to do that again. We don't quite have the lethal. I guess if he doesn't play any more units, we might get close. Well, I can't quite approve of that. Vandal Gunner Tristana hanging out with the hanging out with the pot of pain.
You dropped something. I dropped everything.
All right, well, we had a Buried in Ice in hand. Sucks to lose that, bro. Sucks to lose that. So we'll see. I think we can safely play the Face Sprout again. I don't... There's not a ton of, like, great options. I think we would be pretty happy if we found a... the Lifesteal dude. Ew. That's nasty. Ew. What do we do about that? Our Librarian already has the quick attack. We can mini morph it next turn, but that's not super appealing. Alright. I'm just gonna need some time, I guess. Now, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a 4/4, right? You don't need to mini morph that. We can just put some damage on it and take it down next turn. Alright, picking up the Overwhelms. Let's see what we can do here. We lost our kind of big source of attack power, but... Or we lost our source of bonus attack, but I think this is still fine. The fuck is this? Get a gem. Summon a dude. You're awfully big, my dude. Awfully big.
Don't think I know that one.
I mean, we're probably in a spot to where we just have to try and take down the Trundle now, right? We can't just deal with the big Overwhelm forever. If we quick attack challenge down the Trundle... something good. Well, it's kind of good. I'm going to assume that this Ice Pillar is the most expensive card in his hand.
Yay. But our stuff didn't.
It was. So now we can kind of pivot away from attacking down this Trundle if we feel the need. The scary one now is this Feral Mystic. Bought ourselves a little bit of time in that sense, but we still need to pick up some expensive cards.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
He's going to say, LOL, it's a Three Sisters. Same thing. Same thing. Alright, well, we need to just empty out our hand now for the treasured trash. If you're going to fill your hand up with randoms, you might as well make them good ones, right? Give yourself all the opportunities to hit the big game breaker. What you got for us, Uncle Muscles? Let's see him. See that flex come on. There it is. So none of our blocks here are going to be particularly good. Like, we have the mini-morph as well. This is where we probably need to bring it in. Don't have great blocks onto this guy now, though. This is like our one winning block, the Aloof Travelers, into the thing. Gross. Okay. I was hoping we could get the Blastquin Seedling down this turn so that we'd have a... Oh my gosh, this is so brutal. So brutal, I didn't even stop to think that. We're trying to put all of these cards onto the board for our treasured trash, and then we just sent a bunch of equipment back to our hand. Ugh, nasty. Sure. Right now it would just be a 5-card treasured trash. Why didn't you destroy our equipment before the dudes came down? It would have made our life a lot easier. So I guess the question is, can he even kill us on the next turn? Which should... It's not unreasonable, but it should be tough to do. He needs more guys. Ooh, especially with a tasty Feyfolk. Okay. Let's try and empty out the hand. The thing to worry about again is like if we play the Feyfolk and then he has a way to... Well, I mean, we don't even really have to attack with it this turn, right? Sure. Alright, that's a better looking hand for the treasured trash, right? Again, I don't think he can kill us here. He only has the one Overwhelm unit and the Feral Mystic. Oh, and we just pick up Tristana? Oof. Oof, that's that Overwhelm prowess you need to end the game. Okay, we'll have to look and see. I mean, again, I think we're going to survive here. If we get to throw away the Seedling, that would be preferable. So that's the important one. See if we can't keep some of these equipment on the board. We want to put at least one back down. We can do one of these. We put our most health in front of the Mystic. Okay. So we die to a Three Sisters here, but otherwise we're getting out of the turn. Man, if we get out of the turn, this is pretty exciting. I thought that this game was just done, but... Oh, man. Oh, man. Atrocity. Fucking lame, dude. Uncle Muscles, I thought you were cool until now. So close. So close. Lame-o. You go to www.whoslame.com/Uncle Muscles. It's just a big JPEG that says me. Not me as an FTP bust. I'm always cool all the time. Uncle Muscles, though. I thought you had more to it, my man. I thought you had more. All right, let's get this started. We'll hang on to the Librarian. Again, it's one of our decent early game plays. Get rid of this other stuff. Look for some other cheapos. Got a little something. The combo. The combo is what we got. Let's see if he just drops a quietus on us. That's the world you live in these days. Alright. We made it that far. We survived it just a little bit. That's good. That's good. Let's pick up the Fearsome here. The Fearsome equipment can actually be quite good against the Nora decks. They tend to just not have units that can block. And so you really want the Fearsome, you really want the Overwhelm. The Quick Attack just isn't that good, right? If we're swinging in with a Quick Attack equipment into a Junk Construct used as a LOL block, right? Plays into their game plan. But I like that you're here, friend.
You should try it. Bonk. Bonk. See? Fun.
Mark of the Isles. Fresh out of the Conchologist. I didn't see where that came from, but it's not the end of the world to lose out on the Assistant Librarian. We were mainly interested in him with the equipment, not so much the unit. So we'll get some magic done, I'm sure.
If I were a magician, where would I go?
Holy shit. Well, I guess he's out of portals now. I guess that's the thing. You ever just give up on Jax? Like, it should be tough for our opponent to kill us, right? He's going to need quite a bit of work from this point. I don't think we need to jump out in front of these. That's fine. Alright, in with the pot. See what turns up next round. We'll definitely, well, pretty close to definitely have a flipped Jax next round as well, so we should be getting the Overwhelm attacks in from him. Hey, do we want to signpost to quiet us? That's a pretty strong play, right? No? Well, to each their own, I guess. Alright, loaded up Librarian is ready. We can drop a Phase Sprout before combat if we want. Probably won't use any of the units though. Would we prefer to just have Pokestick and Counter-Strike mana? I mean, probably. If opponents dropping Pokesticks onto Jax, you have to imagine something unfortunate is gonna be in his near future. So if it's a Vengeance, fine, right? But if it's like a Pokestick group shot kind of card, then we can play Counter-Strike.
You got nothing I can't handle.
And he'll go pretty big after this, assuming the Librarian hit goes in. He gets the Forge from the Jax thing, and then the +1/+1 from the flip. Nice.
Who's next? Bring it on!
Okay, okay. We got a decent board here. I'm curious if we should have attacked with that Wandering Shepherd on the previous turn. It's just, if he blocks it, we're just, okay with it. So, it's kind of tough. Alright, who do we want out of these, though? Like, there is the Elusive in the Wandering Library, but I just don't think we care about it as we're looking at a Donger on board. I'm going to go with the Telescope. So we can drop the Telescope, and then we can look for something interesting, and then if there's nothing interesting, we can still drop the Aloof Travelers after. Compass Cavalier is always interesting, but I don't think we're going to get equipment on him fast enough. Get that nonsense out of here. This is the spot where it's going to be really painful in the sense that I think we're going to be like really close to taking him to like 2. I think that's right about where it's going to be. What's he hit? He hits a can't block. All right.
I'm armed. Am I armed?
Alright, friends, let's try. So the Donger can't block the Assistant Librarian. He can put the Donger in front of Jax, prevent 4, but that would still be a lethal. He's going to need another card in hand. If his card in hand is like a Vengeance, then we're looking good. We got the Signpost in hand to get the counterspell on it. So we might be doing good here. Might be okay. You have to imagine that's what his idea is here if he's putting Heimerdinger in front of one of these smaller units. Come on, dude. Merry Christmas. Christmas time. Ugh. That's nasty. Look at that. What did I tell you about this game? What did I tell you? We're going to be like too short. It's not my first rodeo, fam. Pretty sure we should have got that guy in. But we still might be able to pull this one off. He hasn't got the ridiculous board yet. We got a lot of Aloofs to throw down, so we'll definitely have a full board here. Maybe we... It's like maybe we should add in... We should probably just play the Combat Cook next turn. He's going to be a... Like, we're going to have to do some blocking here. He's out of portals again. We did give him a fresh 6-4, but I think we're okay at the moment. Right, board's full. There's not a ton that he can really do. Alright, so let's get this dum-dum out of the way. No hooking in our Jax. we just need this Jax to work next turn, and hopefully we'll be fine. I didn't see where that silence card came from. I'm pretty sure the silence came from the Unspeakable Horror, and so you shouldn't have to worry about too much ridiculousness from that kind of card. It's just not something you typically see out of a deck like this. He might have his own mini-morphs, but shouldn't be too much beyond that. So do we just want to prevent? Like, he doesn't have too much portals coming back. We only have 2 units we can put on the board, though. We're only getting 1 trade. Like, I'm definitely happy with the trade into the Bone Crusher, the trade into the Glory Seeker. It's if we want to pull say like the telescope back, and then just have a couple more guys on the next turn. Because, well, I was going to say one of the spots we need to kind of look at is we have that fearsome equipment, and we have the entrancing lure in hand. So if we get to hook like his only big boy out of combat, then we can, rush in with the fearsome. But looks like it's not going to matter here. He's got too many 5 attack units. Okay, so I'm taking the Shepherd's Authority on the first one. I want to have the Overwhelm onto the Combat Cook. He's just a little bit bigger. Hopefully it turns up. Maybe I don't know entirely how the mathematics work on that, but we do want the Overwhelm here. Of course, we miss now. That's a shame. We can move stuff, though. That's actually kind of an interesting space if we want to do this. Oh, no, we just don't have the Overwhelm equipment now. Oh, that's a definite mistake. I was going to say, we could have looked to, say, bounce the Overwhelm equipment back to our hand with the Sandsworn Amulet, and then just put it back down with a catch, right? Oh, this is actually quite positive. We get to make that same play now with the Jacks. We can catch the Acathian thing onto a dude. Alright, let's see if we can do that. Might as well face sprout, right? If we turn up an elusive. We didn't. That's okay. Let's see. We can drop an entrancing lure as well. Alright, we're going to get him with the style points, right? Okay. Who thinks it's going to work? I think we're at like a 75% chance for this to work. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we can catch it onto the Assistant Librarian. It's going to be a 4 attack after we go for it. 4 attack naturally. It should be 6 in total, I think. Uh-oh, and he's playing cards. He's playing cards. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Equip an ally with an equipment. I'm going to equip this thing. Light of Acathia. So now we're just lethal even with the Withering Wail on the stack. So we can just leave that for the moment. And then if he's going to come in with a Vengeance or whatnot, we can still Puzzling Signpost. We may have an angle as to where we get to go back and signpost the Withering Wail, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Oof. Oof. Market a W. Wintertime Tristana. What the fuck? We didn't win? I thought that said we won. Fine. I drew a pokey stick. Planned it that way. Already marked it a W, so we gotta get it. Ah, the fuck was that? GG. Alright, next battle. Who knows what happened there? You gotta pay a little more attention every once in a while. I just saw that the opponent health was going into the negative. I think that's what happened. He was at 2. It was only going into -1, and I just thought any amount of negative was enough. But got the job done there. Nice work, deck. It's too bad if y'all want to go out there and get this Tristana skin. I'm surprised that they didn't just turn it back on, in the sense that I think the way that you got it was purchasing something during the holiday season of last year. And so it seems like something pretty easy to turn on. I'm really surprised that they don't let you just kind of like come back and purchase a lot of these skins. It's, it seems like a pretty low effort way to make some money. I'm sure that they've done, some kind of mathematics on it to where the exclusiveness gets people to come out and make purchases, but surprised.
The bigger the hunt, the better the trophy.
Alright, so we're up against the Aatrox Kayn this time. Not the Vayne, not the V, not the Demacia. Up against the Kayn with the K. So we line up against it a little bit better. He doesn't have nearly as much interactivity as we do, or as you see against the Vayne deck.
Locked, loaded, and ready to rock it.
He doesn't attack. Good. That feels like a pretty safe spot to just come in and kind of bluff having a safe spot to bluff having what you call it, a combat trick. Now let's just like run in with the aloof. I don't want to play the face sprout because I want to have 6 mana next turn, but alright, he discards Aatrox. I was going to say there's a pretty good chance that we get him to discard that Kayn, because it's just a very expensive card, right? So we had a shot, we missed, but it's okay. We do have the mini morph for Kayn. The fuck, Bone Skewer? Okay. Guess that's the world we live in these days. I should have guessed that your deck only playing the 3 removal spells that's allowed was capable of also just dropping Bone Skewers out of nowhere. Makes sense. Makes sense. Alright, so a dude bigger than the Kayn. I suspect the Kayn's just going to hook one of these smalls. We can look to mini-morph him a turn from now. I'm not going to go for it now, but then the combat cook should be enough to shut down the rest of his attacks. Let's take the 5 from the cultist. And start over. Get a Tristana on board.
All right, Furball, attention!
Now we don't have the mana. Alright. It is what it is. Alright, well, let's get in one more battle. We are approaching that 60-minute mark. I like to keep the videos at an hour. Some of these games have taken a little bit longer than expected, and so got to cut it short from the usual 8. We'll get in 5. We won a game. That's all that really matters, you know. So let's get in here. Let's see what we turn up against. Gwen Kale. All right, we played a different Gwen deck earlier. I think we should probably hang on to the group shot. Like, I'm not super interested in pinging off the... Well, I guess we have to also see if this is just a Daybreak deck, but I'm not super interested in the 1-cost Hallowed unit, but the 2-cost Fearsome Hallowed unit's definitely worth a group shot. So yeah, we'll let this guy stick around for a bit. We'll try and build up some board with the Grandfather Fae, and find mid-combat time to use these 1-damage pings.
Please make yourself right at home. Allow me.
Alright, I'm wanting to play the Wandering Shepherd this turn, so we'll look to take down the Butler, leave up the Host, start dropping some spells and seeing what turns up. Amulet seems good. Don't really want to get our Grandfather Fae too involved in combat, but I mean, if it comes down to it now, if we want to attack next turn and he say like plays Gwen, then we have some options with this Entrancing Lure. Oh, it's Tristana though. Gonna be making 4-power Hungry Owlcats. I don't think I can turn that down. We got 1 Fearsome, 1 Quick Attack. Both of these attacks should be safe. If he wants to throw away the Host at this point, I think we're good with it. Alright.
We tend the fire and hope for her return.
I see units like this guy and I'm like, we're not going to have the opportunities to kill him, right? Well, actually, I guess If his shtick is just to use Hallowed to boost the lifesteal on this thing, then we might be okay in that sense.
The midnight revel, and so we begin.
Alright, I'm going to go Lantern, because we have the second Face Sprout in hand. Don't think we want to add it to the board right now, but we'll take this big mana combo here in the near future.
Her light still burns.
What a joy!
This way, come along.
Okay, now do we care about the Clerk if he has a combat trick to get out of this? Probably. I don't want to just take too much damage in the face of the Gwen deck here, so we'll put the block in front of it. In case, I mean, he's got 4 mana. If he's going to play a Pale Cascade or whatever, I would still rather have this unit die. So that seems pretty reasonable. Alright. Vandal Gunner Tristana taking point.
We have gone long without justice, but keep hope alive.
It is unfortunate we have this equipment stuck on the Grandfather Fae. We have the Entrancing Lure. I guess you can play the Entrancing Lure and not have to just don't draw a card, right? So we can quick attack challenge down Gwen with our Tristana. Or, you know, Hungry Owlcat, whoever.
We shall have a symphony.
I think that's probably the way to go about it. I mean, I guess we could play Catch onto the Grandfather Fae, and then Entrancing Lure so he still gets to draw the card. He's about to be out of mana, so maybe that's the safe way to go about it. Okay. Could catch the Gleaming Lantern to save it, but I think I'm just more interested in the mana. Or in the card draw, in the cycle. Try and get high-powered stuff going. We can bring one of these. Is it even worthwhile? Yeah, we got impact on these units. They'll get to deal some damage.
You're wearing that?
Alright, squad. Seems okay. Seems okay. Just so it's so tough to actually punch in damage with this stuff, though. Right, he's got all these opulent foyers giving him the blockers. I guess most of that should be gone next turn.
We made it. Yay. But our stuff didn't.
I don't know if you saw that. We got him to discard Zolani. Womp womp. I guess we did have an answer in the mini-morph, but it doesn't feel good losing your big boy like that. Alright, same deal as before. If we're going to be blocking, or if we're going to pokey stick this Ghastly Band, we definitely want a blocker out in front of it in case something with this goes wrong, but ideally we'll just get the takedown on his unit. I guess there is a world to where we should just like throw a blocker in front of the Ghastly Band and then shoot down the Divine Clerk so that we get this just big open attack next turn, but we might be at lethal anyways, even if he blocks Tristana. She has 3 impact. He blocks our 2 bigs. We have 3, 6, 9, 14, plus 6. That's 20.
What message do you have to deliver?
Alright, he's out of cards in hand as well, so whatever shenanigans we can come upon, we should be using. There it is. There's the big combo everyone used to use back in the day. I hope he doesn't have a way to give the Winged Messenger the +1 attack. If this thing picks up Elusive, our Rainbow Fish Tristana combo is not going to work. But, you know, we're going for it. The combo from the days of old. Dropping ghosts, dropping rainbow fish on your Tristana. Making sure everybody's having fun out here. That's it. OTK with Tristana. That's the perfect way to finish off the the perfect way to finish off the Tristana video. And GG. GG. Not a bad set of games. And so, reasonable enough deck. It's not something that I'm, going to go out and recommend that you climb the ladder with. It's a deck out here for the funsies, but, you can still win some games. We pulled off some game wins here. I think if you're going to take this out on your own, now that we've played a few more games with it, I would probably just take out these mini-morphs. At worst, it should probably be a wallop. At best, it should probably just be more group shots, as we're out here facing down all of these various Aatrox decks and still having a lot of things like Red Gwyn running around. Being able to deal that 1 point of damage is quite strong. You saw a lot of the looking at Worlds, you saw a lot of the, say, like Nora Poppy decks playing the full collection of both Group Shot and Pokestick. And so that's, a kind of reasonable angle. Minimorph is just not good right now. It's just, as everyone is playing so many equipment, it doesn't really do what you're looking for it to do. And so that would be kind of the first place that I would look, is to take out the Minimorphs. Otherwise, I was pretty happy with the deck. I was pretty happy with the concept and the ideas. It's not a good time to be playing all of these equipment, since everyone are kind of in the mindset to focus down all of the Aatrox equipment decks, and so that's kind of weak if your opponent's just incidentally getting strength out of their Quietus because of the Aatrox deck, and so that's kind of a bummer. But outside of that, these ideas I think are still kind of interesting and strong, and so maybe in the future, like after rotation, if Tristana sticks around and a lot of these multi-faction things kind of stick, we see a few more multi-faction additions to the game. We might get some kind of interesting ideas and interesting thoughts out of Tristana and Jax, as they do have some pretty reasonable synergies. It's just the Aatrox deck right now is just way too much for this in every way, shape, and form. You do not want to be playing these stat-based board decks against just the best stat-based board deck, right? It's always what you complain about as you play something like Scouts into Aatrox, right? You need your units to, at worst, be trading, at best be winning combats, and you just can't win the combats against those decks. And so you can't even get the trades against them. And then you just fall further and further behind. But hey, that's not what we're here for. We weren't here for the massive victories. We were here for the fun times and the holiday seasons. Again, if you do Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your holiday event of choice is, I hope you enjoy it. If you don't like to do that thing, if you say, I'm a Scrooge bust, I don't want to enjoy any of those holidays, then man, I hope you have a good Friday, a good Saturday, whatever your favorite day of the week is, I hope you have a good one. And so that is going to do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.